Hello, this is an assembly video for your Chore Warrior airplane spotter. These 3 individual boxes will come in one large box. It'll be the airplane spotter, a motor drivetrain, and a frame box. We can open them up and in the airplane spotter box, you will have some hardware. You will have the 2 tires. You will have the airplane spotter rear wheel lift. Frame plate, along with the control panel assembly and light. The motor drivetrain box. This is also the same motor and drivetrain that we use with our wheelbarrow and deck barrel. Hi, this is what's in the motor drivetrain box: motor gear case, axle frame mounts, battery. These are the Chore Warrior instructions, which we will use some of them, and the axles, and a bottle of oil for the gear case. In the last box is the frame assembly, along with the hardware kit. After emptying box 3, you'll have your leg assemblies, hardware kit, your battery charger, and your left and right handles with your throttle assembly. Step 1, we'll install the axles into the gear case. First, we'll remove these red plugs. Taking gasket from the hardware kit, set that on there. Take your red axle for the right side. Move the electrical cord out of the way. Turn the axle shaft so it drops into the splines. Have your dots lined up. 8mm socket head cap screw, 5 on each side. After securely tightening all the Allen head bolts, you can move on to the left side. Your axle gasket. Slide your axle into the spline, turn it until the splines line up and fall in place. 5 more socket head cap screws. After we have both axles mounted in the gear case, I like to add the oil at this point. A 10mm nut here. There is a fill plug, drain plug on the bottom. It does not matter which side you fill this gear case from. There is a washer on the plug itself. Do not lose that. Your bottle of oil, about 5 ounces or so. Can be a little messy. Remove the cap. I like to cut the cap about 3/4 of the way off. So this diameter here is very similar to the fill plug diameter. Remove. Have rags or paper towels available. You will need them. Fit it in there and give short squeezes, allowing air from inside the gear case to bubble back into the bottle. Empty the entire contents into the gear case, and this will probably be the only time you'll ever have to do this. At this point, on our Chore Warrior wheelbarrow, the motor is facing on your right side and forward. For the airplane spotter, we need to invert the whole assembly into the opposite direction. So the motor will be on your left side facing towards you. At this point, we can install our tires. You can turn the axle. Each axle has a keyway slot and a key that would slide in there. Tire has a slot on it. Just slides on there. We have a large nut that is 1 1/16 inch or 27 millimeter. Crescent wrench, socket, chan locks. After you have the wheels installed on each side, we're going to move along to the axle frame mounts. We have a purple and a red one. Red for right, purple for left. It's going to be opposite of our wheelbarrow instructions because we have inverted the motor 180 degrees. You have a 10 by 25 hex head bolt with a washer. You can install all 4 of those. After we have the axle frame mounts bolted down loosely, leave them loose, do not secure them yet. Finger tight. We have our left leg purple. We have our right leg red. Slides in. We have 8 by 40 millimeter hex bolts and 8 millimeter hex nuts. We will install 2 of those on each side. Finger tight. After both legs are installed, left and right, leave the bolts loose so you still have some free play. Your right handle has the throttle assembly on it. You can just slide that into here, line the holes up, just let it rest in place. Same with the left side. Wiggle it up and down, let it rest in place. Next, we will grab the control panel and we will make the connections to the control panel. Next, I like to make the connections for the motor, throttle, and power cable. All these connections are only going to fit in one of the 4 outlets. They are all individual. They are also all indexed with a slot and a groove. And each one of these individual ports has a slot and a groove in it also. The motor will go on the left side. The cable from the motor goes to the left side of the control box. You can look in there, line it up. It'll slide in place. Tighten the knurled nut, finger tight. You do not need to put a wrench on those. So the left side is connected, the right side the throttle. Verify where your slot is down inside there. Verify where your slot is here. This one is a little tight fitting, but if you are prepared and lined up, it'll slide right in place. Tighten the knurled nut, and then you can install the power cable also. After all your connections are secure, hand tight is perfectly fine. Next, we will install the control panel into the handle mounts. Sometimes an extra hand might be useful at this point. The same 8 millimeter by 40 bolts and a hex head nut. I like to get one side started and then come to the left side. And then we'll do 2 bolts on each side for this, leaving them loose also so everything is still. After installing 4 bolts on the handle, 2 on each side, hand tight, it's time to tighten the rest of the bolts. I'll move to the front. What I like to do, these are 16 millimeter or 5/8 diameter. I like to make sure both sides are symmetrical as best as possible. It's not essential, but you can feel the top and the bottom. You can just bring them snug. We'll go around later after we've snugged everything and securely tighten all the bolts. We can move to the 4 center bolts, 13 millimeter 1/2 inch. When you're tightening these, it's okay to crimp the outside frame material to the inside frame material. We tighten them until there's no movement in between the two. We'll go to both left and right side, securing these 4, and then we will move back to the handles. So after tightening these 4 bolts here and these 4 bolts here until there is no movement, we will go back to the handles and tighten the 4 bolts on the left and right side here and here. After everything is tightened, we can test operations to make sure everything is working as intended. The battery box, battery door, your 3-prong connector. It only uses the outside 2 prongs for positive and negative. You can install it. Your on-off switch, forward and reverse switch, and variable speed switch are up here. You can turn it on. You'll have indicator lights for battery. You'll have forward and reverse. The differential is open, so it is normal if one tire is only turning. And it looks like we're good, so we'll tie back the harnesses at this point with tie wraps. Thank you. After securing the harnesses to the frame, and there's no right or wrong way of doing it, I use 3 on this side, 2 on this side. I tuck the throttle harness up over the top of the electrical box there. Like I said, there's no right or wrong way to do it. At this point, I like to take the motor gear frame box, lift up the Chore Warrior, and just prop it to try and make this as parallel as possible for installing the airplane spotter deck. So grab your deck and the frame, airplane spotter deck and frame support, lay them on top, put that on top. We have 8 millimeter by 25 carriage bolts, and also in the frame kit you have an extra set of carriage bolts here, which are a little shorter. It does not matter which ones you use, you will end up with extra hardware left over after the completion, and that's because we're combining 2 kits together. But you can just drop the carriage bolt through there, get a nut started. Four of them total. After loosely installing the 4 bolts on the deck, I loosen these back up slightly, remove the box at that point, allow it to sit flush. Align everything, make it as symmetrical as possible. If it isn't, that's also okay. It'll be perfectly fine. These are 5/8, 16 millimeter. You can go through and snug those up, and then go underneath and tighten those 4 bolts also. And then our throttle incorporates our on-off switch, our forward and reverse switch. It also has the battery indicator. It shows the battery state when the motor's not running. It might drop a light while you are using it. That's perfectly normal. Reverse, forward, shut her back off. We also have our light switch here, which has our LED light. And this is the charging port for the battery. You plug your charger in there, plug it into a 120 outlet, and watch the indicator on the battery charger. Each Chore Warrior airplane spotter comes with a Chore Warrior sticker. Remove the upper translucent layer from the bottom. Try not to get your fingerprints on the actual sticker itself. Place on there as straight as possible. Rub in place. And then slowly remove the upper label. Last thing we'll show you is our tow bar. It'll come to you assembled with skid plate, but just so you know how it is assembled, you have your nut, your sleeve, a washer, and a bolt that slides in like that. You can put your finger underneath it, washer, your sleeve, and your nut. You'll take it up to your rear tail dragging wheel. We'll use this one here for an example. You can loosen, get it close, give yourself a little free play, and then tighten it down with a 7/8" wrench. You can bring it over here and install it all the way up. It'd be the best place to start with. And there you have it. Enjoy. This concludes the assembly video of our Chore Warrior airplane spotter. If you have any questions, concerns, or comments, please reach out to us at 651-370-7508. Again, thank you very much.